Communication. This one's huge for the coaches and player relationship. First off, it's imperative, and we're early right now, but once we get into the thick of things and start creating a depth chart, the role of each player and coach has to be clearly defined. You have to know where you're going to go to seek help and what it is your role is. Are you first string? Are you second string? Are you prep? How do you get out and move up or down in those different roles? A lot of it has to come from the clarity you get in the feedback and instruction from coaches. I get it. The world's full of gray. But in the meeting rooms, on the practice field, we as coaches have to make things as black and white as possible. So it's imperative that when we're in a situation of giving you feedback, I can say, man, you did a great job because of A, B, and C, or that wasn't good because of X, Y, Z. There's got to be some reason. I got to give you something. And if you want to know, coach, how do I move up on the depth chart? How do I improve? How do I get better from what you just told me in terms of feedback? We as coaches can't give you the generic, keep working hard, we'll see what happens. And I expect everyone to be working hard right now. Everyone's working hard. And I'd be foolish to think that all of a sudden, if I want, Griff to get more field goals in a row or Sam to punt further, that, hey, you better bench press more. What? That doesn't make sense. Or if we're on the old lineman, man, you're getting beat off the edge every time on that pass rush. 10 more wind sprints isn't going to get it done. There has to be feedback, and it has to come from our coaches clearly looking at film study, and science. I got to be able to tell you, you clearly don't understand what we're doing because you're doing this on this particular play, or you're going to the wrong gap, or you're going the wrong way, you're running the wrong route, you're in the wrong coverage. Or is it something from a science standpoint where your hips are turned too early? You've dropped your inside foot. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much effort we want. Shoot, it's like Shakira, hips don't lie. That hip gets flipped, you're going to lose every single time. So never leave the meeting rooms or the practice field without being sure what it is you need to do. And know that sometimes our coaches have to teach you a little bit differently. Everyone learns differently. And we'd be foolish to think that everyone's going to learn the same way. So it's okay if you don't get it right away. What else do you need to understand it? Okay? We need to answer the why question as often as we can through science and study of the game. And it's imperative that if we don't go through it necessarily as coaches, you understand how progression teaching works. So it's great when you hear it, but more often than not, that's how you're taught. You hear it and then you're told, oh, I told you 5 times, you messed up. And you might mess up 20 times. You need to do more than hear it. You have to hear it. You're going to have to see it. You might have to write it. You'll have to walk it. You'll have to run it. You have to rep it, because repetition is the mother of all skill. There's no substitute for it. So if there's something that you need to get better at and there aren't coaches to give you the feedback you might need, understand how progression teaching works. And sometimes you're going to have to help each other out. That's why on the offensive line, I'd probably bore you silly by doing those board drills where you step over the towel and come out of the chute. I get it. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but the more you rep it, the better it's going to get, especially in a position as awkward as O-line.